How's it going, everyone? I want to make this video. I noticed a lot of people in their mid 20s, early 20s. I noticed a lot of them are getting more, a lot of men. I can't speak for the women, but I noticed a lot of men, young men, are getting more depressed or feeling, more depressed than, ever before. And especially in the Hispanic community, I feel as though, um, you know, your mid 20s, early 20s, if you're Hispanic, um we're always taught growing up, like, don't show emotion, and be a man, and men don't like cry, men don't show emotion. And and then the older we get, we realize that our fathers that never showed emotion, um fathers or any father figure that, or mother figure that never showed emotion, because we were taught to be strong and everything. We notice the older we get is they just never showed it to you, to your face, as a kid. um and I think it's one thing that kind of hurts us, just because, speaking for myself, I know, growing up, I was always like, oh, my father raised me and my brother to be, be tough, and you don't need to show emotion, and suck it up, go through the pain, and I think to a certain extent, that's good. I think that, I wouldn't have changed any way he raised us or my mother raised us. But I think what a lot of Hispanics go through is my age and earlier is that there's no there's no room to talk to anyone. And for those going through it, you know what I mean. Hispanics, you're not gonna go to your mom or your dad and be like, oh, I feel sad or I feel depressed, because they're gonna be like, nah, nah, we don't, Hispanics, we like to say, like, we don't believe in things like that, or therapy or anything like that. So I feel like that hurts us, as we grow up, because as a kid, if you taught that, you're not, you're not allowed to communicate to your parents how you feel, and parents, I know either they don't mean it in a bad way, they look at it, everything through your perspective, because as a kid, what you're going through, that's the biggest thing. So it's kind of like when you're in school, school is the biggest thing. I want to be popular, I want to do this, I don't want nothing to mess up, because then it's going to stick with me my whole life. And when you graduate, you realize, like, man, high school never really meant anything. And I think that's why, that's how our parents see it. They see it like, oh, my son thinks he's sad, or he thinks he's depressed, or my daughter thinks she's sad or depressed, but she's just in high school, or they're just starting middle school, or their situation, there's nothing for them to be depressed about. And and you know in a larger scale, that's true. But being that kid in middle school or high school, you don't know what's after that. So you haven't graduated, you haven't lived life, you haven't experienced the world. So to you, that is the end all be all, that is everything. Going to school is your everything. So you can you it feels so real in that moment as a kid, because you don't know what the real world is, or what life really is. um and I feel like parents should talk to their kids, even if it's not, even if you don't sit down and let it all out. Like, let's say you're depressed, or you have trouble at school, or you're getting picked on at school. Even if you don't want to relay that to your parents, I feel as though you should relay it to someone, whether that's a friend. And guys like to clown each other. Um, we like to clown each other when it's just a guy thing. I don't know, when you go to your friend, you're like, hey guys, I've been feeling sad lately. And then people, you're playing games, you're like, oh really, man, what's wrong? And then they start laughing. um but at the end of the day, if you got real friends, all jokes aside, they're gonna be there for you, they're gonna talk to you. Even if you don't have friends, I think try to find some groups, you know what I mean, like, try to find something. Even if it's like this video, like, let's say you're going through something and you don't even, you know what I mean, you don't even know, or you don't know who to tell, and you don't have no one to tell. You could just, either you want to comment below, like, I'm going through something. You don't have to say what it is, but I'll reply, even as because I'm a stranger. And sometimes strangers are like the best people to listen to because they won't judge you. They don't know you. You're not gonna feel judgment. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people in the Hispanic community, even, not just Hispanic, it happens to all men and women. I'm just saying, like, I'm only speaking from the Hispanic community because I'm Hispanic and I know what it's like to be raised as, you got to be a man. You can't show emotion, you can't act a certain way. So that's why I speak to it um, on that perspective. But I do think it's very important to reach out to someone, um, whatever that is, you know what I mean? And then in another video, I'll post some tips just because this video is getting kind of long, on what I did when I felt depressed or I felt like I was going through something. And maybe, who knows, maybe it'll help you out. So just things I just want to know. I just want to let you guys know if you're going through something, it's okay. It might suck in the moment. You might feel like there's no escape. You gotta just take it at that when it's so serious like that. You just need to take it day by day. Even if you have to walk away, take a deep breath, relax, and then go back to what you need to do. Okay. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.